Okay, this is Ryan Mulholland. He is a junior at Greenville High School, and he has volunteered to perform in this dynamic flexibility warm-up. The first exercise that he will do is neck rolls, and he will do one set of these, 10 repetitions, and hold for 2 seconds. So he's going to do 10 repetitions each side, just an active stretch. 10 repetitions each. Okay, he's then going to perform the static erector spinae stretch. And this is going to be a static stretch. And this works the hamstrings, the glutes, and the abductors and adductors. And he's going to hold each stretch for 30 seconds. Okay, he's then going to stretch his wrist, doing wrist extensions and wrist flexion stretches. He's going to pull his fingers up towards his body. Okay, and this is an active isolated stretch, so he's only going to hold it for a few seconds. Flexion and extension. Then he's going to perform ulnar flexion stretch. Okay, and this is working all the muscles in Ryan's wrist and forearm. And this is also an active stretch. He's going to do this 10 repetitions, one set. He's going to hold each stretch for 2 seconds. Then radial flexion. This stretch also works the muscles in his forearms. He's going to also perform one set at 10 repetitions, holding each stretch for 2 seconds. And this is another active isolated stretch. Okay, after this he will perform arm circles, one set forward and backward, 20-second count for each set. So he's going to go forward for 20 seconds. Then backward for 20 seconds. This is an active controlled stretch that works the shoulders and the glenohumeral joint. He will then perform one set of wrist rolls, going in a medial and lateral rotation. And in each direction he's going to go for 20-second count each way. Okay, this is going to work the joints in his wrist, work the muscles in his forearm. Okay, after this he's going to perform 20 yards of high knee kicks. He's going to do 2 sets of these at 50% intensity. He's going to have 30 seconds for every 2 minutes of work. 30 seconds of rest for every 2 minutes of work. This is a dynamic active stretch that works the hip flexors. And then the same thing with butt kicks. 2 sets, 20 yards. 30 seconds of rest for 2 minutes of work at 50% intensity. And this works the quadriceps and the patella joint. Okay, next he's going to perform walking lunges with a rotational toe touch. 10 repetitions for each leg, 2 sets of these. And this is a controlled pace that he's working at. This works the core, the hamstrings, and the quadriceps. This is also an active, isolated stretch. And then he's going to sprint 35 yards and backpedal 35 yards. So he's going to be performing 2 sets, and then he's going to have 5 seconds of rest for 1 minute of work at 75% intensity. And then Ryan is going to do active leg swings. He's going to perform 10 repetitions for both legs. Dynamic stretch that works the hip flexor muscles. Okay, then he's going to perform the active gastrocnemius stretch. 2 sets of 10 repetitions. So he's going to perform 10 repetitions per leg. And this is also a dynamic stretch that works the adductors and abductors. You will then perform the standing adductor stretch. He's going to perform 5 repetitions for each leg, 1 set, and he's going to hold each stretch for 2 seconds. This is an active isolated stretch that works his adductor muscles and his hip flexors. And then he's going to perform hamstring kicks. He's going to perform 10 repetitions for each leg, and he's going to perform 2 sets of these. 5 seconds of rest between each set. This is a controlled stretch. Active isolated stretch that works his hamstrings and his hip flexors. He will then perform a set of dynamic leg swings, 2 sets per leg, 10 repetitions, 5 seconds of rest between sets, and this works the adductors and the abductors. This will stretch out his quadriceps, his hamstrings. He's then going to perform a walking lunge twist with a rotation, 10 repetitions per leg, 1 set for each leg, and 10 seconds of rest between sets. This is a controlled stretch that works the quadriceps, hamstrings, and the core muscles. Active isolated stretch. Right now he's engaging his core, his quadriceps, his hip flexors. These are also the main muscle groups that are used in the sport of lacrosse, that are activated in lacrosse. So he's really going to want to stretch these muscles out. And then he's going to perform another set of sprint and backpedal for 55 yards, 1 set, and he's going to have 10 seconds of rest for 1 minute of work at 100% intensity.